Hey everyone! So, I am having a phenomenal day today. I got to hang out and volunteer with an organization called Naomi Cleveland. Awesome organization. I got to hang out with a lot of like-minded women, uh, and I was just doing a lot of connecting, a lot of networking, and just having conversations with people that I wouldn't have ordinarily met if it wasn't for this organization. So my day was actually it went really, really well. And I am looking at my eyes. You guys, my eyes are a little bit red today because of my allergies. I don't have anything in my system. It's just my allergies. I'm just looking at them like, whoa, they're really red. Very itchy. I didn't take my medicine today. But anyway, as I was saying, I was in the room with a lot of really phenomenal women, and I have no complaints whatsoever. It was awesome. And so in that vein, you know what? I was actually really thinking too today about how that environment just really contrasted some other things that are kind of going on in my life right now. And just the idea of complaints. And I feel like the idea of having a complaint is really something that is I don't want to say necessarily looked down upon, but we're always taught to never have complaints, always be grateful for what you have, this and then the other. And I do agree with that to an extent, but I also believe that complaints are also vital information for you. And that's something that's happening in my life right now, is that I'm like, I'm seeing where things are just kind of, just not quite working for me. It's like, okay, so there's this over here, and this over here, and this over here, and this over here, and, here. There's all these little things that I'm like finding out that these little puzzle pieces no longer have a place in my life anymore. And I really had to sit back and think to myself, as I was connecting with these people and knowing that I am destined for different levels. There's levels that I'm heading towards right now. And I'm like, okay, these complaints I'm having are actually true indicators that where I am and where I'm going don't align. And in that way, our complaints, when we really just kind of take a deep dive and analyze them, they're actually very vital information about things that are going on in your life. Now, that's not to say that also you shouldn't be grateful for certain things. There's also that. But I do want to kind of change the narrative on what complaints actually indicate in your life. Because when it boils down to it, a complaint is essentially you not being satisfied with the outcome of something in your life. And when I say that, it's because, we have expectations of things, of course. And we say, okay, if ABC happens, then XYZ is going to happen. When that doesn't happen, what do? We complain. So in that way, it's actually even kind of us trying to control a lot. Trying to control what's happening in our lives. But at the end of the day, all it means is that wherever your destination is, this journey has kind of taken a detour, and the destination is no longer the destination, and you need to do something about it. Now, whether that's just suck it up and be grateful for it, whether that means that you need to do a complete 180 and pivot, whether that means that you need to actually analyze it and see if that truly is a complaint. I mean, that is all things you can possibly do. But I do want you, especially if you are a budding entrepreneur, if you're someone who is really considering where you are going in life, and you're kind of like, I'm not totally sure what I'm supposed to be doing. If you sit down and analyze what is going on in your life, and you say, okay, these complaints that I have, is this really just me just needing to shut up and suck it up? Or is this me truly needing to commit to pivoting to something else? And if it's the latter, then you have some work to do, don't you? I know I do. Because like I said, I was just in that room like, man, it was just such a contrast to some of the other things that were happening in my life that I was like I said, it was just not working. And I'm like, no, this is what it needs to be. And for me, my complaints ended up being, or not all of them, I would say. I'm not over here trying to be this pillar of perfection. There are some things I just need to shut up and be grateful for. But at the same time, I know that for me, the majority of my complaints are really just me dealing with the growing pains of leveling up. And I'll get to where my destination is, but this is just me really, really understanding and seeing that I need to go to another level. And honestly, it's funny because spiritually I could feel it, and it's interesting when I can tell that something is a God move versus me. I can always tell when something is a God move because I'm not necessarily welcoming it into my life. It's kind of just like happening. Because even with these complaints that I have that I'm talking about, I wasn't necessarily doing much with it, but I see kind of the gears moving in my life in such a way that it's kind of forcing me into where and how I need to embrace where these complaints are moving me. Because I wasn't necessarily, like I said, I wasn't moving myself. And in a lot of ways I'm being pushed into things, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is totally not what I was going to do. And I'm like, oh, all right, I see what's happening in my life. And in years past, I didn't always notice when something was a God ordained, God destined thing in my life versus just me, because I am a very I don't want to say strong-willed person. I think my mom would probably say strong-willed. But I know where I'm going and I know what I want, I should say. I'm a very deliberate person. There we go. That's a nice word. I like that word. I'm a very deliberate person. I don't do things for no reason. I usually always have a reason for doing things. And so when I'm presented with a solution or reason that is not something that is just kind of okay, this is how I'm going to move, this is how I'm going to pivot, this is me being deliberate, when it's coming out of left field, but it's also the best solution or best move I need to make for a situation, I'm like, okay, God, all right, let's move. Okay, I get it. That's how I know that decisions are coming from some other source that is not Bliss's brain. It's coming from elsewhere, right? And so I want this to I really want you to sit down and really think about all the things in your life that are going left, that are just kind of that you don't really truly that you don't that you just don't really see the end game to whatever is happening in your life, and you have complaints about it. I want you to really sit down, take a deep dive into it, get a pen, get some paper, and just write out, okay, these are my complaints about this. Is this a true complaint here? Do I just need to shut up and be grateful? Or is this really me leveling up, and I need to just kind of sit with myself and determine the right path that I need to go on? And if I don't know what that path is, then I need to go and consult with God and say, hey, I think I should be making some moves here because I'm just not happy with this, and I need to stop talking so much. There's my other hand. I need to stop talking so much and need to start doing, because that's what complaining is. You're doing a lot of talking instead of moving and doing. You need to determine a way forward in this instance rather than just talking. And you'll find your solution that way, at least hopefully. That's the plan. Because a lot of times, I'm not even gonna lie, a lot of time, a lot of what I'm talking about may seem simple, but it's not always that simple. A lot of times you may just know that you don't fit. Like I said, for me, these puzzle pieces in my life weren't quite squeezing into the places that they needed to be. And I knew that these were certain things that I was like, where is this going? Sometimes that's all you have, is that you just don't know why it's not working, and you just need to sit and see, like, how should I move forward here? Sometimes you won't know immediately. And you just need to ask God, hey, can you let me know? Can you let me know what's up? Sometime, and even then too, maybe you're just not quite at that season in your life, and you're just saying, oh, okay, I see this season kind of coming in hot. So what do I need to do to prepare for this pivot in my life that's happening? How can I make sure that I'm making the most of my time here in this stage of my life? And what can I do to to ensure that the stage of my life that's coming up soon will also be properly assessed, properly taken care of, and and just making sure that whatever God's purpose and plan is for my life, that I'm doing my best to always kind of strive towards whatever that is. All right, so hopefully this kind of changes your perspective on complaining. I know, for me growing up in the church in particular, it was always, like I said, like, stop complaining, be grateful, and that was it. That's all that mattered. And now as I get older, there's a lot more nuance to some of the things I was taught. Now I'm like, no, actually, there is something to having complaints, whether it's work, whether it's your platonic relationships, romantic relationships. Sometimes, when it comes to relationships, having a lot of complaints means, wait a minute, if I'm complaining about everything with this person, should I even be associated with this person? Like I said, sometimes complaints shouldn't be embraced, but they should be looked at as some vital information about moves you need to take, right? So hopefully you enjoyed this message today. I can feel myself getting really sleepy. I've been up for a while now. I'm like, I feel myself kind of teetering a little bit. So I hope you are having an excellent morning, afternoon, evening, whatever day, time of day it is, wherever you are. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please check out the links down below. Like I said, I'll put a link to Naomi down below. I also have my Instagram down there. Please follow me on Instagram. I am Bliss Alexandria. I am a master abundant life coach, and I also have some consultation link down below too. So if you want a consultation, please do schedule that. And then also don't forget to subscribe. Like, you just over here watching me and you're not subscribing, like, it's kind of whack, dude. Like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like, you're just here and just, looking and not committing to this, whatever this is. Feeling very hot and cold to me right now that you're not subscribing to me. All right. All right. So yeah, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time.